Hello friends, it's Danny. Welcome back to another video. Happy New Year, first and foremost. Today is a bit of a different video. I posted on Twitter that I was thinking about rereading my favorite book. And I have not reread it since reading it for the first time. Got that urge to reread it. And I have been struggling for the last 9-10 days, since the new year started, to actually finish a book. And I have like so many books on the go right now. I have like 4 or 5 on the go, and they're all just kind of meh. And that's saying something because one of the books that I have is Casey West on the go. I think I'm slumpy. I was thinking that if I started reading my favorite book again, I can get myself out of that slump. So here she is. This way, right there. There she is. That is These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. And these are the sequels. And this is an arc of it. And I love it to bits. And I haven't reread it since I read it for the first time. I feel like it's long overdue. And I made a post on Twitter saying, should I reread it? And if I do reread it, should I vlog it? And so I got all the yeses as a response to that poll. So I think it's time to reread. The other thing that I am going to do is I am going to download the audiobook of this because I read this the year before, for the first time as both a physical copy and the audiobook, and it was a glorious experience. I absolutely loved the audiobook, so I'm going to download that to my phone through Overdrive because I know the audiobook is available through Overdrive through my library. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my favorite book because I love it so much. So this is a space opera. This is by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner, and it is beautiful. The cover is beautiful. The story is beautiful. Everything about this book is beautiful. It is about this girl named Lilac, and that guy up there named Tarver. They're about to board the Icarus, which is basically like Titanic in space. It's this giant spaceship that goes into hyperspace, and everything is going fine with it until everything is not going fine with it. Icarus is falling. It's crashing to everybody's death. And Tarver and Lilac manage to get into one of the escape pods, and they end up getting deserted on this deserted planet. And they have to survive this planet and hope that somebody comes to find them before they die. So it's basically like Titanic in space. I've been obsessed with it since I bought the book because of the cover mostly. And I read it, and then I was obsessed with it. And then I had to have the 2 books after it. And that's this Shattered World and Their Fractured Light. And it's beautiful. And I'm excited about rereading it for the first time. I figured I'd bring you along on my journey because I had surgery on December 17th, and I really haven't been able to do anything other than lay on my couch and watch all 10 seasons of RuPaul. And also try and read a book whilst also try and get on my computer. I've done a lot of writing, surprisingly, but that's only been in the last couple of days. And so I'm like, I want to settle down and start reading a book. So, remember when I said I was going to start reading a book 3 days ago? I haven't started that book yet. The reason for this is not because I am in a reading slump, because I have been reading Fame, Fate, and the First Kiss by Casey West. Figured I would update you from where I have been for the last month, which is laying on my couch. So yeah, this is where I have laid for the last month, not being able to do anything or sit or anything fun, basically. Back to the whole reason why I haven't started These Broken Stars yet. It is not a thing of my choosing. I just really want to have the audiobook to go along with the book itself. Because I like hearing the characters in my head reading their story, and the audiobook is so well done. I really love the audiobook, and I tried to get it the other day, But my library was not cooperating, and by that I mean their system was overloaded, and so they weren't giving out any books to anybody. But now your girl has the audiobook, so now I can start reading it, and I'm very excited to start reading it again. I love this book so much. I'm not ready. I'm ready, but I'm not. I'm gonna go get the book now because I put it back in my room until I got the audiobook, and we'll start reading. So remember how I said I was gonna read a book? I always get to a point where like, I'm gonna go read now, and then I'm like, I'm not reading now. I'm doing something that I've meant to do for a while now, which is exporting all of the videos that I have on my computer, which aren't very many, but I have what I have on my computer exporting to my external hard drive, which is something I needed to do for a while now since I got my external hard drive at Christmas. So I've been working on that. I edited and uploaded a video, and now I'm on my computer and just kind of watching YouTube videos and also not reading but writing. Good morning. I have officially started These Broken Stars, and I've only read it so far as an audiobook or listened to it. I am on chapter 3, and I love it as much as the first time. One of these things I really love about this book is how well written it is, and just how like cleanly it is written and described, and it's just beautiful. And what I really love about the audiobook specifically is the two people who narrate the book. The woman narrates Lilac's perspective, the male narrates Tarver's, and I love them so much because they are so well read. They have emotion. They have different inflections on sentences. It's not like they're just reading it monotonously for the sake of reading it. They change their voices for each character that they're reading, which I like for once. Usually when a guy tries to read a woman's voice, he makes it sound really weird, and when a girl reads a guy's voice, she drops her voice really low, and I don't like that at all. But I really love the way this book is read by the audiobook narrators. Realizing that I haven't read this since 2016, which is crazy because now that's 3 years ago. And so I'm just remembering everything I loved about this audiobook, and I don't know if my library has the second and third book as audiobooks, and that's cool if they don't, because like I only read the audiobook for the first time for the first book when I first read it. Like, it doesn't make a big deal if they don't have the audiobooks, but I kind of wish they would, because it's just it's an experience I love having. From here on out, there's probably going to be spoilers because I do want to talk about the characters. I want to talk about what they're going through, and I don't want to just have an entire reading vlog where I go, it's so good, I love it, oh my god. Just be cautious of spoilers, and I will tell you what I'm feeling as I'm reading. So one of the things I have noticed with reading this for the second time is, now that I know what happens in later books, I now understand what the little flashes before each chapter are. One of the things that I commented on during my first read through in 2016 was that I didn't understand what the little like parts were before each chapter, where it was kind of like Tarver was being interviewed by this mysterious person that I didn't know. And now that I know who that is and why they were interviewing him, it makes so much more sense now. So I feel like this time around, I'm like, I understand, I got it, I know what, I got you. So that was one of the things that I didn't really like reading the first time through, because it didn't really explain it until like the end of this book and leading into the second book why those glimpses were happening, and I didn't really put 2 and 2 together. I'm currently on chapter 7. I love Tarver so much, but I'm gonna go back to reading now. I have my little Bluetooth speaker and I'm listening to it on here whilst also reading the physical copy, which the cover is over here. I love it so much. Oh god, I want that dress. Hello. It is the 15th of January. I did not film anything yesterday, or if I did, I don't remember doing it. I don't even think I did a lot of reading yesterday either. Hence why I did not film anything. And I had a doctor's appointment today. I got some good news. Pretty much been told I can start integrating all of the things I was not doing for the last month and a half back into my life. So that means gradually being able to sit again and going out and not having to have a bandage on my stomach. I'm also getting my PICC line out today, which I am so excited for. I am 26% of the way through the audiobook, or 26% of the way through the actual book of These Broken Stars. I'm loving it still. I'm loving it still. I didn't realize how much I loved Tarver until I started rereading him and Lilac's interaction. And now I'm just like, maybe Tarver is my favorite out of the series. One of the things that I will say has always bothered me and still does is, like, I'm not a big science fiction fan, which is weird because this is my favorite book and it's sci-fi. It's weird to me that my favorite book is sci-fi, but I'm not a sci-fi fan other than Doctor Who. That being said, I find that I don't really understand a lot of the whole, like, terraforming planets and things like that. So that was one of the things the first time around really threw me for a loop, because I didn't understand what they meant by, like, terraforming planets and how, like, they basically make them sustainable for life and things like that. Like, I get it now, kinda, but, like, I still don't understand the logistics of it, and part of me hates when sci-fi tries to explain the logistics of it too much, because then it takes me out of the world and makes me feel like I'm in a science class. I'm still finding that a problem, but I'm looking over that because I love Tarver and I love Lilac, and oh my god, I'm gonna go listen to my audiobook for a bit. Also, side note, update, not that you guys really care because this isn't a writing video, but I submitted some more queries to literary agents and I've already gotten my first rejection of the batch of 9 that I sent. Isn't that great?
Hello, hi, how are you doing? It has been a hot minute since I filmed a clip. I didn't film anything yesterday, I didn't film anything the day before, or if I did, I said I was going to film more and then I didn't. But a lot's been going on. First off, I'm sick. Second off, I had a big kerfuffle with trying to rehome a puppy that I took in because I didn't want to see him go to the pound, and your girl found him a home today, so that was good. I feel good about that. But I really haven't had time or energy to read. I'm on chapter 22. I technically was on chapter 23, but I was listening to chapter 23 and then I fell asleep, and it wasn't because of the book, it was because I'm tired. So chapter 23, I don't remember anything that happens in it, so I had to go back. So I'm going to listen to chapter 22 again. I'm going to read along in my physical book with my reading light. We're going to be getting some new videos from me soon because I'm going to work on my bullet journal and do some writing. So I might do a writing update post Nano, and also the BookTube games are happening, and your girl's part of Team Neverland, so I'm very excited. February is going to be an entire month that I'm going to dedicate to reading, because I obviously have not dedicated January to reading, and I want to catch up on my goal of, I think it's like a book a week, a book and a half a week, which I am behind by almost 3 now. Whoops. This will be the first one, then I have a couple other audiobooks on my phone. But the goal is to finish this first, so let's get doing that. Don't hurt Tarver. I love him so much. Now it's like I get to reread snarky Tarver and it just makes my face hurt because I love him so much. I am literally starbound trash. No shame. Why am I crying? Why am I almost crying? Oh my god. Okay, so, like, again, spoilers, but I'm gonna talk about it. Tarver's sick, and I can't help it. I can't handle seeing my boy hurt, and it's hurting me, and I can't handle it, and I'm listening to the audiobook, Like, Lilac is freaking out, and I'm freaking out, and I know what happens, but, like, I'm still freaking out. She's never looked so beautiful. He's falling in love with her, and I can't handle it. How much I love Tarver. I keep saying that Flynn's my favorite, but I think Tarver is coming back to number one. I love him so much. And he's just like, he's so sarcastic and bantery. And he falls in love with Lilac even though he's not supposed to. And I love him so much. They kissed. They did it. They kissed. She finally did it. She made the first move. And I love that. I love that so much. They're falling in love and they're finding a building and they're gonna find out what shit's gonna hit the fan. They're so cute. They're in love and they know it, and Tarver's just like, if a rescue ship landed here at any time, I would just stay here in this cave and not get rescued, because then he could be with her forever on the planet. And I'm like, it's so cute. I can't. The fact that Tarver is acknowledging how strong of a person Lilac has become just because, like, she's had to become that kind of person is so good to see. And just like, he's like, if you want me to stop, just tell me. And she's like, if you stop, I'll never forgive you. And I'm just like, I'll never forgive you either, because oh my god. It's hitting the fan. Everything is happening. I know what's coming, and I'm not prepared for it. But Tarver is flirty, and I don't remember reading it the first time, but, like, spoiler alert, they do. I think when this was first published, it was maybe less common for YA to have sex-related things in it. So, like, I kind of commended them for writing that in there. Sexy teasing and also, like, alluding to sex, like, to the characters doing the do. Shit's about to hit the fan. I'm not prepared. Okay. Why does this happen in every reading vlog? I'm not prepared. I'm fine. I'm not fine. It's really hard to read this part. My arms are shaking and I don't know why. Because I'm crying. It's really hard to read this part because I knew it was coming and I wasn't prepared for it, but I knew it was coming. I think it's also hard to listen to the audiobook because you can hear how Tarver is thinking and feeling and how he is not okay. I don't want to spoil it. If you read this book, you know. Okay, I need to go read more because this can't be the end. I know it's not the end. It's fine. But I'm not prepared. Okay, fam. Your girl just finished her favorite book. Oh my god. I still love it. Still love it 2 bits. Oh my god. I think I love it more reading it the second time. And I don't know if that's just because, like, I'm remembering it for the first time since 2016. I just love the audiobook narration. I love the story. I love that it sets up a whole nother story for other characters in the later books, which I will be reading very soon. I don't have audiobooks of those. I'm just going to have to read them with my own eyes, but I'll get through them. Just love this book so much. I love Tarver. I love Lilac. I love how Lilac develops as a character. I love how Tarver becomes, like, more of a small being, like a softie, and, like, you see him break and then you see him get put back together and he's just perfect and she's just perfect, and, like, I just love them so much. If you had tried to tell me that 2 years ago, I would have been saying to this day that my almost 2 years, 3 years, wow. Okay, 3 years ago, if you had have told me that I would be saying my favorite book of all time is a sci-fi book, I would not believe you, because I am hardcore YA contemporary, new adult contemporary, romance. That's all I read. Like 99% of my shelves, are that. And then there's this book, and this book just makes me feel all the feels and all of the things. And honestly, like, I don't think I could pick my favorite contemporary because there's so many, but like if I could pick one definitive book to be my favorite of favorites, I don't know why, but it's this one. I just love it so much. Like, I love that they go through this whole survival story, and there's a love story, and there's heartbreak, and there's really like almost disturbing things that happen in this book with her father, and the way he like rules the world as this big company owner person. And I think my favorite thing is like seeing how the two survive together, they interact together, and then they end up happy together, and they love each other, and they like are struggling to tell each other that they love each other, because like they never thought they would love each other, but they do, because they're cute and they love each other and they're perfect. So that has been my very long, like, rambly read along of These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. I don't have the cover because the dust jacket's over there, so insert picture here. Again, 5 out of 5 stars, would recommend. Out of 10, would share to anybody. When anybody asks me what my favorite series is, it's this one. Prepare to see some new videos coming out very soon about the BookTube games, because like I said, I'm participating, and I'm probably do like a month-long vlog of some sort to talk about my reading. Tomorrow I'll probably start one of the other audiobooks on my phone that I've downloaded. If you're interested in seeing all of the things that I'm reading in 2019, I'm going to have a thread made up on Twitter now that I've actually read something. You can always follow me at Goodreads and Twitter and all of my social medias in the doobly-doo. So that is it for this video, you guys. I hope you somewhat enjoyed my rambles about my favorite book. I don't know what my next video is going to be. I'll see you guys in that one. Happy reading and writing, friends. Bye. Darling, it's a good